A solid grasp of foundational real estate concepts is key to passing the exam. This video covers 50 questions on topics like ownership, legal descriptions, property rights, and leasehold estates, each carefully worded to test your true understanding, just like on the real exam. And don't miss what's happening in the bottom corner. It's designed to supercharge your exam prep. We'll explain more in just a minute. Let's dive in and get started.
Let's jump right into some foundational real estate concepts. Basic concepts of real estate. Which of the following is not considered real property? Is it A, land, B, fixtures, C, personal property, or D, buildings? The answer is C, personal property. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The term real property includes land and anything attached to it. Fixtures, often overlooked, become real property when attached. Personal property, however, remains separate. Which of the following statements about a fee simple estate is false? Is it A, it provides the most complete ownership rights? B, it can be inherited? C, it is subject to government powers? Or D, it has a definite duration? The answer is D. It has a definite duration. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Fee simple estates are often misunderstood. They represent the highest ownership interest, but the statement about duration is misleading, as these estates are indefinite.
Have you noticed the code in the bottom corner? Next time you're stumped, take that code to birdsy.ai for immediate help and a free study session with Birdsy, your personal AI study partner. Plus, you'll get access to hundreds of additional questions, helping you move closer to passing your exam with confidence. The next time you're feeling unsure or stuck, give it a try.
Which is a characteristic of a tenancy in common? Is it A, requires equal shares among owners? B, allows for unequal shares? C, includes the right of survivorship? Or D, ends automatically upon death of an owner? The answer is B, allows for unequal shares. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Ownership structures can be confusing. Tenancy in common allows unequal shares, unlike joint tenancy, which requires equal shares among owners. Which of the following is not a government power affecting real estate? Is it A, easement, B, C, eminent domain, or D, police power? The answer is A, easement. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Government powers are often confused. While taxation, eminent domain, and police power affect real estate, easements are private rights, not government powers. Which of the following best describes a life estate? Is it A, it is inheritable, B, it lasts indefinitely, C, it lasts for the duration of a person's life, or D, it provides the most complete ownership rights? The answer is C, it lasts for the duration of a person's life. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Life estates are complex. They last for the lifetime of a person, unlike fee simple estates, which are indefinite. Which of the following is a characteristic of a freehold estate, but not a leasehold estate? Is it A, possession for a limited term, B, ownership with indefinite duration, C, tenant rights, or D, transferable by lease agreement? The answer is B, ownership with indefinite duration. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The terms freehold and leasehold can be confusing due to their similar sounding nature. Freehold estates involve ownership with indefinite duration, while leasehold estates have a set term. In real estate, what does the term bundle of rights refer to? Is it A, physical boundaries of the property, B, legal rights of any citizen, C, rights inherent in property ownership, or D, government powers over land? The answer is C, rights inherent in property ownership. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The term bundle of rights sounds abstract, but it specifically refers to the rights associated with property ownership, not just any legal rights or physical property. Which of the following is an example of personal property, not real property? Is it A, a mobile home, B, a fence installed around a yard, C, a tree planted in a backyard, or D, built-in kitchen cabinets? The answer is A, a mobile home. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The distinction between personal and real property can be subtle. Personal property is movable, unlike real property, which is immovable and attached to land.
If you're finding this helpful, please take a minute to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more practice exams, useful tips, and complimentary study sessions with Birdsy.
Property ownership and types of property. Which of the following is not a characteristic of a fee simple estate? Is it A, it is inheritable, B, it is transferable, C, it is limited by time, or D, it provides the greatest ownership interest? The answer is C, it is limited by time. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The term fee simple can be confused with other property interests. Fee simple is the most complete form of ownership, not limited by time or conditions. Which type of property ownership involves a right of survivorship? Is it A, tenancy in common, B, joint tenancy, C, tenancy by the entirety, or D, community property? The answer is B, joint tenancy. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The phrase right of survivorship might be confused with other ownership rights. Joint tenancy includes this feature where co-owners inherit the share of a deceased owner. Which of the following is a characteristic of a life estate? Is it A, limited to the lifespan of an individual, B, involves the right of survivorship, C, can be inherited by heirs, or D, is a form of fee simple ownership? The answer is A, limited to the lifespan of an individual. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Life estates can be confused with other temporary interests. They are limited to the duration of a person's life and cannot be passed to heirs. Which of the following is true about a leasehold estate? Is it A, it provides permanent ownership, B, it cannot be transferred, C, it is the same as fee simple, or D, it grants possession for a limited time? The answer is D, it grants possession for a limited time. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Leasehold estates can be confused with freehold estates. Leaseholds are temporary and involve renting, not ownership. Which of the following is not a characteristic of community property? Is it A, property acquired during marriage is shared equally, B, it includes a right of survivorship, C, each spouse owns half of the property, or D, it applies to property acquired during the marriage? The answer is B, it includes a right of survivorship. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Community property laws can vary by state, and the term may be confused with joint ownership. Community property does not automatically include survivorship. Which of the following best describes a tenancy in common? Is it A, ownership with right of survivorship, B, equal ownership shares required, C, ownership with no right of survivorship, or D, only two owners allowed? The answer is C, ownership with no right of survivorship. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The similarity of terms can confuse. Tenancy in common allows unequal shares and no right of survivorship, unlike joint tenancy, which includes the latter. Which of the following statements about a fee simple defeasible estate is not true? Is it A, it can revert to the grantor upon condition breach, B, ownership is always permanent, C, it is subject to specific conditions, or D, it is a type of freehold estate? The answer is B. Ownership is always permanent. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Double negatives can confuse. Fee simple defeasible can revert to grantor if conditions are violated, but ownership is not always permanent. In which type of property ownership is the owner's interest not inheritable? Is it A, life estate, B, fee simple absolute, C, tenancy in common, or D, joint tenancy? The answer is A, life estate. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The focus on inheritable can mislead. A life estate ends with the life tenant's death, making it non-inheritable. Which type of property ownership might include a right of survivorship? Is it A, tenancy in common, B, community property, C, fee simple absolute, or D, joint tenancy? The answer is D, joint tenancy. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Similar sounding terms can be confusing. Joint tenancy includes the right of survivorship, unlike tenancy in common. Legal descriptions. In legal descriptions, which of the following is not a recognized method for describing real estate? Is it A, meets and bounds, B, lot and block, C, directional, or D, government survey? The answer is C, directional. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Each option sounds plausible, but only 3 are standard methods. The directional method is not a recognized legal description method. The others are well-established techniques used in property descriptions. Which statement about the meets and bounds system is not true? Is it A, it begins at a point of beginning, B, it relies on a grid system of meridians and baselines, C, it uses compass directions and distances, or D, it often references natural landmarks? The answer is B, it relies on a grid system of meridians and baselines. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The use of negatives can confuse. Meets and bounds does not rely on a grid system. It uses natural landmarks and measurements from a point of beginning. Which of the following is a primary feature of the lot and block method? Is it A, recorded plat maps, B, compass bearings, C, natural landmarks, or D, meridians and baselines? The answer is A, recorded plat maps. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The options are closely related terms. The lot and block method uniquely identifies parcels using a recorded plat, crucial for urban areas. Which of the following statements about legal descriptions is always true? Is it A, they always use natural landmarks, B, they always reference a plat map, C, they always use a grid system, or D, they always provide precise property boundaries? The answer is D, they always provide precise property boundaries. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Absolute terms like always can mislead. Only the statement about legal descriptions providing precise property boundaries is universally true. Which of the following is not a component of the government survey system? Is it A, base points, B, townships, C, meridians, or D? The answer is A, base points. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The options include terms that sound official. Base points is not a component. The correct term is baselines. In the context of legal descriptions, which method involves a surveyor's starting point and uses physical features to define boundaries? Is it A, lot and block, B, meets and bounds, C, rectangular survey, or D, subdivision plat? The answer is B, meets and bounds. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The question includes unnecessary details about surveyors, which might lead test takers away from focusing on the method itself. The meets and bounds method uses physical features and compass directions to describe property boundaries. Which of the following is not typically included in a legal description using the rectangular survey system? Is it A, township, B. Range. C. Lot number. Or D. Section. The answer is C. Lot number. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The negative wording "not" can easily be overlooked. The rectangular survey system typically includes township, range, and section numbers, but does not include lot numbers. When using the lot and block method, which document is essential for the legal description? Is it A. Recorded plat map, B. Surveyor's field notes, C. Deed restrictions, or D. Topographical map? The answer is A. Recorded plat map. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The similarity in the wording of the options can confuse test takers. A recorded plat map is essential for the lot and block method since it provides the detailed layout of the subdivision.
Don't forget to comment below with your tips, challenges, and thoughts on exam preparation. Your experiences can make a big difference for others.
Rights in real property. Which of the following is not a type of real property right? Is it A. Easement, B. Leasehold, C. Personal property, or D. Lien? The answer is C. Personal property. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The options include terms that are often confused with property rights. Personal property refers to movable items, not real property rights. Which of the following rights is most likely to be affected by zoning laws? Is it A. Right to control, B. Right to exclude, C. Right to dispose, or D. Right to enjoy? The answer is A. Right to control. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Zoning laws affect land use, which might be confused with other rights. The right to control involves determining how property is used. Which of the following best describes a fee simple absolute estate? Is it A. An estate with no conditions or limitations on ownership, B. An estate limited by conditions set by the grantor, C. An estate that reverts to the grantor upon certain events, or D. An estate that includes only mineral rights? The answer is A. An estate with no conditions or limitations on ownership. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The term fee simple absolute might be confused with other estates. It is the most complete form of ownership with no limitations. Which of the following is an example of a non-possessory interest in real property? Is it A. Leasehold, B. Easement, C. Life estate, or D. Fee simple? The answer is B. Easement. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The options include terms that may be confused with possessory interests. An easement allows use without possession. Which of the following statements about the right of survivorship is true? Is it A. It applies to all forms of joint ownership, B. It requires the consent of all owners to be enacted, C. It can be overridden by a will, or D. It ensures that ownership passes to surviving co-owners without probate? The answer is D. It ensures that ownership passes to surviving co-owners without probate. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The options include statements that are partially true. The right of survivorship is unique to joint tenancy and not tenancy in common. Which of the following rights is typically not included in the bundle of rights associated with real property ownership? Is it A. Right to use, B. Right to exclude, C. Right to trespass, or D. Right to transfer? The answer is C. Right to trespass. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The bundle of rights is a foundational concept, but often misunderstood. The right to exclude is a core part of property ownership, while the right to trespass is not included. Which of the following statements about easements is not true? Is it A. Easements can be created by express agreement, B. Easements can be terminated by mutual agreement, C. Easements are generally considered non-possessory interests, or D. Easements allow unrestricted use of the property by the holder. The answer is D. Easements allow unrestricted use of the property by the holder. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, easements can be complex, with various types and implications. Easements do not always allow unrestricted use. They are specific in terms of use and limitations. Which of the following rights allows a property owner to make alterations to their property? Is it A, right to control, B, right to exclude, C, right to enjoy, or D, right to possess? The answer is A, right to control. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, alteration rights are often confused with use rights. The right to control includes making changes, while other rights focus on use or exclusion. Which of the following is not a characteristic of a life estate? Is it A, ends upon the death of the life tenant, B, is inheritable by the life tenant's heirs, C, can be created by deed or will, or D, allows the life tenant to use the property? The answer is B, is inheritable by the life tenant's heirs. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Life estates are often confused with fee simple estates. Life estates do not allow unlimited inheritance. They end with the life tenant's death. Estates and interests in land. Which of the following is not a characteristic of a fee simple estate? Is it A, it is inheritable, B, it is the most complete form of ownership, C, it is limited by conditions set by the previous owner, or D, it may be freely transferred? The answer is C, it is limited by conditions set by the previous owner. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The term fee simple might suggest limitations, but it's about ownership rights. Fee simple estates are the most comprehensive form of ownership, with no restrictions except those imposed by law. Which of the following estates is most likely to terminate upon the death of a specified person? Is it A, fee simple absolute, B, life estate, C, estate for years, or D, periodic tenancy? The answer is B, life estate. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The term life estate might suggest permanence, but it's tied to the life of a person. Life estates end when the specified individual passes away. A property owner grants a parcel of land as long as it is used for educational purposes. Which type of estate is this? Is it A, fee simple determinable, B, fee simple absolute, C, life estate, or D, leasehold estate? The answer is A, fee simple determinable. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The phrase as long as indicates a condition. A fee simple determinable automatically reverts to the grantor if the condition is violated. Which of the following is true regarding a tenancy in common? Is it A, all co-owners must have equal shares, B, upon death, interest automatically passes to other co-owners, C, it requires a right of survivorship, or D, each owner can sell their interest independently? The answer is D. Each owner can sell their interest independently. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Tenancy in common involves shared ownership, but individual interest. Owners can sell their interest independently, which can confuse those unfamiliar with this flexibility. In a joint tenancy, which of the following events will not sever the joint tenancy? Is it A, sale of one joint tenant's interest to another party, B, partition action by a joint tenant, C, death of one joint tenant, or D, bankruptcy of one joint tenant? The answer is C, death of one joint tenant. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Joint tenancy requires unity of title, time, interest, and possession. Selling one's share severs it, but death doesn't, due to the right of survivorship. A property owner transfers land to another party under the condition that they never build a commercial structure. What type of estate is this likely to create? Is it A, life estate, B. Fee simple, subject to condition subsequent. C. Fee simple absolute. Or D. Leasehold estate. The answer is B. Fee simple, subject to condition subsequent. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The use of never might suggest permanence, but the condition creates a defeasible estate. A fee simple subject to a condition subsequent allows reversion if the condition is breached. Which of the following statements about a life estate is not true? Is it A. The holder can use the property during their lifetime? B. The estate ends upon the death of the life tenant? C. The holder can commit waste on the property? Or D. The property reverts to a remainderman or reverts to the grantor? The answer is C. The holder can commit waste on the property. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The use of not requires careful reading. Life estates do not allow the holder to commit waste, meaning they can't diminish the property's value. A property is deeded to a person for as long as they use it as a farm. What happens if they stop farming? Is it A. The estate automatically reverts to the grantor? B. The estate remains with the current holder? C. The current holder must pay a penalty? Or D. The estate converts to a fee simple absolute? The answer is A. The estate automatically reverts to the grantor. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The phrase as long as indicates a fee simple determinable, which automatically ends if the condition is not met.
Stuck on a question? Just think of the Birdsy link in the description as your friendly neighborhood superhero, swooping in to save the day with answers. Feel free to explore it now and return to continue. Simply hit pause, and we'll be waiting when you get back.
Leasehold estates. Which of the following is not a characteristic of a leasehold estate? Is it A. Possession for a limited time? B. Obligation to pay rent? C. Ownership of the property? Or D. Reversionary interest to the landlord? The answer is C. Ownership of the property. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The presence of not requires careful reading. Leasehold estates do not grant ownership rights, only possession and use for a specified period. A tenant's leasehold interest is best described as which of the following? Is it A. A right to possess and use the property? B. A form of property ownership? C. An indefinite interest in the property? Or D. A reversionary interest in the property? The answer is A. A right to possess and use the property. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The term leasehold interest might suggest ownership. However, it actually refers to the right to possess and use the property, not ownership. Which of the following lease types is most likely to include a reversionary interest? Is it A. Periodic tenancy? B. Tenancy for years? C. Tenancy at will? Or D. Tenancy at sufferance? The answer is B. Tenancy for years. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. All leasehold estates involve reversion, but the question tests knowledge of lease types. A tenancy for years clearly includes a reversionary interest. In a leasehold estate, which party is typically responsible for maintaining the property? Is it A. The tenant for all repairs? B. The landlord for all repairs? C. Neither, as it depends on the lease agreement? Or D. The landlord for major structural repairs? The answer is D. The landlord for major structural repairs. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The term typically can mislead. Generally, landlords maintain structural aspects, while tenants handle minor repairs unless specified otherwise. Which leasehold estate automatically renews unless notice is given to terminate? Is it A. Periodic tenancy? B. Tenancy for years? C. Tenancy at will? Or D. Tenancy at sufferance? The answer is A. Periodic tenancy. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The concept of automatic renewal can be confused with indefinite terms. Periodic tenancies renew automatically unless terminated by notice. Which leasehold estate type allows a tenant to occupy the property for an indefinite period, but either party can terminate the lease at any time? Is it A, tenancy for years, B, tenancy at will, C, periodic tenancy, or D, tenancy at sufferance? The answer is B, tenancy at will. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The use of indefinite period might suggest a perpetual lease, but the key here is the ability to terminate at any time. A tenancy at will allows this flexibility. In a leasehold estate, which of the following is not typically a responsibility of the tenant? Is it A, paying rent on time, B, maintaining the interior cleanliness, C, repairing structural damages, or D, notifying the landlord of needed repairs? The answer is C, repairing structural damages. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The question uses not to test attention to detail. Tenants are generally not responsible for structural repairs, which are typically handled by the landlord. Which of the following leasehold estates is characterized by a specified duration that automatically ends without requiring notice from either party? Is it A, tenancy for years, B, periodic tenancy, C, tenancy at will, or D, tenancy at sufferance? The answer is A, tenancy for years. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The phrase automatically ends might confuse with renewal terms. A tenancy for years has a defined term and ends without needing notice.
Thanks for joining us today. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to our channel for more practice exams, tips, and tricks. And don't forget to visit Birdsy.ai for complimentary study sessions with Birdsy, your AI-powered study partner.